Hello and welcome everybody to the 15th episode of the CreaLien Design Podcast. Hello Loulou. Okay, so I have a co-host apparently, or not. That's Loulou. Anyway, welcome to the CreaLien Design Podcast. This is the 15th episode. My name is Eline and I'm coming to you from my home in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, where I live with my two cats, Joop and Loulou. Loulou, who you just saw for a tiny little second, and Joop is laying up there in his basket. He's asleep, as he usually is. Thank you for checking out this week's episode. Today it's the 16th of September 2019. This video will only go up from on the 17th of September because one of the things I have to show you is a little gift and I have to send it off later today, and I don't want to upload the podcast before I know she received the gift because I don't want to ruin the surprise. Places you can find me. I'm CreaLien Design basically everywhere, so the same name as the podcast. I'm CreaLien Design on Instagram, CreaLien Design on Ravelry, and CreaLien Design on Etsy, where I sell my hand-dyed yarns. There was a shop update last Friday, and there were some new colorways that I put into my shop. I'm gonna show them to you at the very end of the episode, but if you're interested, there's still some yarn in stock, so you can go check it out. All the places you can find me and everything I talk about in the episode will be linked right down there in the description box on YouTube. So today I have spinning and knitting, as I usually have. So let's get started, shall we? The first thing I finished was a pair of socks. I only have pairs of socks to show you. Lots of socks this week. So the first thing I have to show you is a pair of socks that I was knitting on last episode. I wanted to say last week, but no, last episode I showed you. That's about 3 weeks ago. Okay, side note. I noticed that this recording every 3 weeks suits me really well. I think I'm sticking with it. I think I'm going for the every 3 weeks. Anyway, I finished a pair of socks. Huge socks. Well, huge as in very long. These ones, I don't know if you remember them from the last time. And these are the bags. And yeah, they are done. They weren't done last time, and they are done now. So this is a very long color gradient. The yarn is Kauni, which I believe is a Danish brand. I believe it's Danish, but I'm not sure. It's Scandinavian, and it's 100% wool, fingering weight in the Equinox colorway, because this is actually a complete rainbow, so the color continues to orange and red and purple. Yeah, this was one of my very, very old whips. I had one sock done when I picked this up, and I knit this. Oh, this is the first sock. When I hello Loulou. Hello. Hi Puss. You want to come sit with me? Are you gonna stand here? Anyway. Yeah. Hi. Hey Puss. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. This is not so. This doesn't work though. Oh, you guys. Come. Come. Ow. Ugh. Okay, hopefully she'll stick. So, what was I saying? Yeah, this was a sock that I knit in 2015. Yeah, she is on my lap. I don't know, you're not going to be able to see it. I knit this in 2015, and what I did with the first sock is I knit a cable on the back. There's no pattern or anything. And then I decided it was time to knit the second sock. Look how long it is. Normally a sock would end at the same point as where the toe started, however you want to call it. But this one is this long. So I knitted the second sock, and I wanted to incorporate this little cable also on the second sock, of course, because I really like it. But I thought, well, why put it in the heel? I mean, I think you easily get blisters if you have this on your heel, and it makes the fabric more fragile. So I think if I put that on the heel in the second sock, well, I didn't put it in the heel in the second sock because I thought, well, I don't want to get blisters on both of my feet, so I didn't put it on here. And as you can see, there is quite a sudden color transition here. There was quite a bit of the blue missing, and that makes that there's quite a visible color transition from the foot to the rest of the leg here where the heel is, whereas on the first sock it's not there. Well, it's barely there. It is around here, but anyway, I don't care. I'm really glad that these socks are done, finished. Yeah. And it was a very old whip, 2015 or something, that I knit the first sock, so it was about time that I finished them. They are so long, so incredibly long. They're 100% wool, so they don't have a nylon blend. They don't have nylon in them, which is okay for me. I don't, yeah, that doesn't, yeah, I don't care too much about that. I probably won't wear through them. The wool it's lovely wool. It's normally not used for socks. When you feel it like this, it's really soft. I mean, you can feel it's a more rustic wool. It's not superwash or anything, but it's pretty soft. But when I hold it next to my skin, next to my face, I'm like, I don't think I want a shawl or something like that out of it. I haven't washed them yet, and they're not blocked or anything, so there's a big chance that they will soften up quite a bit after washing. But yeah, it's usually used for shawls and the yokes and sweaters and stuff like that. If you look up this yarn on Ravelry, there are amazing projects, amazing things you can do. Sorry, there's a truck, and that made a lot of noise. Amazing things you can do with this yarn. It's stunning. It's stunning yarn. I absolutely love this yarn, but I don't think I want it next to my skin. So I have a new pair of socks. Yay! The next thing I knitted, and this is why I cannot upload the video today, but I have to, well, for you it's today. For me it's tomorrow. The gift that I knit. Yeah, look how cute they are. Tiny little feet. Socks for little feet. And they're not that tiny. Anyway, so you might recognize the yarn, because the yarn is the same yarn I knit my boyfriend a pair of socks out of on last episode for his birthday, and this was the leftover yarn. So I knit a pair of child socks out of it. I used a contrasting yarn for heels. This is, I think it's Scheepjes, the gray yarn. I think it's Scheepjes, but I'm not sure. I don't have a ball band anymore. I believe it's Scheepjes. And this rainbow yarn is, what was it now? Zitron Trekking XXL, I believe, in color 1001, I think. I will put it in the description box right down there so that you can look it up. I have a project page made for this, so you can check all my notes there. The reason I made them shorty socks is because I ran out of yarn. I just completely knit up the colored yarn and then put in the cuffs, and that was it. And I think they are long enough. I think the receiver will really like them. Little girl turning 5, yay, for her birthday. I think she will love them. I'm pretty sure. I like them. Oh, and you know what do you know? Well, I always knit my socks on double pointed needles. Always have. And I tried out. I have severe second sock syndrome, and as you might know, because like I said, the first sock was finished in 2015, and I only got to knitting the second sock now. And I have quite a few more single socks, old single socks laying upstairs. So I tried 2 at a time sock knitting. Not long after I started knitting socks. So quite a few years ago, maybe, I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that. And it just didn't work for me. I knit my socks on double pointed needles. A magic loop just didn't work for me. And then magic loop knitting 2 socks at a time. No, it wasn't for me. So I kept knitting 1 sock at a time on double pointed needles. And then about a year and a half or so ago, I gave 2 at a time magic loop another try. Knitted half a sock, didn't like it, decided to quit, and I frocked the socks, and I really didn't like it. But I've been watching the Knitting Expat Podcast. Sorry if you can hear that. There's a lot of traffic going around here, and people really like to honk their horns for no reason. Anyway, so what I was saying is, 2 at a time didn't work, and I was watching Mina Phillip's from the Knitting Expat. Can people just stop, please? Because it's distracting. And she always knits 2 at a time socks. It's her preferred method, and she knits really quickly. She knits more than 1 pair of socks a day if she wants to. She kind of really inspired me to try it again, but I kept holding it off. So I'm almost up to date on her podcast, and only now I'm also giving it a go. I just thought every time she finished a pair of socks, I was like, how amazing would it be to, when you finish a sock, you finish 2 and you're just done? You're done. Because every time, if I knit a sock, it feels like I finished a project, and I don't want to knit the same project twice. So for starting the second sock is really, I never want to. Once I've started that sock, then it's okay. I can knit, and I can continue working on it, and then it's okay. I don't like it as much as I like knitting the first sock, but it's okay. But casting on that second sock is just, it's a real, I don't know, it takes some mental willpower. So I decided to give 2 at a time sock knitting one more go. So I bought a good set of needles, because my previously tries were on not the right needles, and with the joints that didn't work well, that weren't smooth enough, and the cable not long enough, and stuff like that. So I decided to purchase 1 pair of good circular needles, and I sat down with Mina's 2 at a time sock tutorials. She has a tutorial video on her YouTube channel, which you can check out, and I watched it, and I watched it again, and I thought, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, because these were knit 2 at a time, my first complete pair, 2 at a time sock knitting, and I really, really, really like it. So I'm knitting another pair of socks 2 at a time, and now I want to knit all the 2 at a time socks. So that was a very long story to get to what I wanted to say, 2 at a time socks. I'm a convert now. I don't want to knit socks on double point needles anymore, but I kind of have to, because I have so many single socks that I still need to knit the second sock for. I have to knit those on double points. But that's okay. That's okay. So, yeah. To the next thing. This is taking a while. Okay, so you remember last time, well, it's not really a finished project, but last time I knitted this square. It's the Pinwheel Scrap Blanket, also by Mina Phillip, the Knitting Expat. This was the last square, this was the first square, I mean, and I knitted it on the previous podcast episode. Or I showed it to you because I had it finished then, and I had a second one on the needles back then, and that second one is finished now. It's not blocked or anything, the ends are woven in, but it's not blocked yet. And like I said, I'm knitting it out of my own hand-dyed yarns. Whenever I dye a colorway, I also dye minis, because I really like my yarn. I absolutely love my yarns, and if I could, I would knit with each colorway, and I would just work my way through it, and I would add it all to my stash. But that's not really an option, is it? So everything I dye, I add a mini in there and color a mini in the colorway. Dye the mini in the colorway, or whatever. So I have minis. Of each of my colorways, and I'm adding them into squares in rainbow order. So in this square I have, let's start here, Pongo and Purdy, which I really love so much, and Confetti. The rainbow colored one is Confetti. I love that one so much. I have a shawl on the needles with that one. Then we have Twilight, and we have Scarlet Sunset, and we have Cocktail Party, and Be Happy, and Radioactive Swamp. This one glows under black light, you won't believe it. And this is Underwater Garden, and I love them so much. I love these colorways so much. All of them, I really do. So now I have 2 rainbows, yay! And then I cast it on and knitted a third one. And that's this one. And it's all semi-solids. And this one is knit out of dye samples from every color of dye that I have and every combination that I mix myself. I am quite particular about the colors I want to use, so when I mix up my dyes, I really want to know it's exactly how it will turn out. So for every mix that I make and every individual dye color I have in stock, I dye up a mini to test out that color. So, and then I make little labels, and write down how I mixed it or what colors I used, and well, all that kind of stuff. I write them on a label, on a tag. It's from wood, it's a tiny little tag, and then I use those tags if I want to put together a certain colorway, and I see what colors work together, and I use those wooden tags for that. But if you those tags only use like maybe a gram or half a gram or something, so I have quite a bit of yarn left over after I made all the tags, and all those minis are going to be used in my blanket as well. I just grabbed out 10 little balls and used 8 to form a rainbow and put the other 2 back. So it's kind of random, but not completely random. I pick 10, or I grab 10, and then I pick 8, and then I put them in a rainbow order, and I knit a square. So this is my third square. Really like it. Not blocked yet, but ends woven in. I'm weaving in the ends as I go because there are 8 colors, which is 16 ends. I don't detest weaving in ends, but I don't like it either. So when I have to do 16 ends, that's a bit too much. But when I only have to do like 3 or 4 at a time, then that's totally fine. So I'm just weaving them in as I go, which is great because when you're finished, you're finished. I haven't started the fourth yet, the fourth square, but I have put the colors together in my super awesome project baggie from Hema. There they are. That's my next rainbow. I should cast it on because it's really easy grab and go knitting. If you just have like, I don't know, 2 minutes when you're boiling water and you only have like 2 minutes to knit something, then you can add, a few rows on this, which is great. Let me put this on this side. Then my next work in progress, I'm gonna speed up a little bit, otherwise we're gonna be here tomorrow, until tomorrow. I have a second one of those little project bags. I think they're so awesome. Look at that. Ooh, I didn't want to show you that. Anyway, what I'm working on here is a knitting pattern of my own, because I had let me get it out of this bag. I had posted a while ago a picture on my Instagram channel where I'm using my preferred heel method, and people asked a lot of questions about it, and I'm pretty sure that it's not something I invented, but I've looked around on the web and there's just no tutorial or pattern that shows what I do. So I thought I'm gonna write up a pattern for it. And I've been wanting to write up a knitting pattern for a sock knitting pattern for a very long time, but I just didn't. For no particular reason. And now I thought, well, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna write a knitting pattern, include my heel, and a little stitch pattern on the front to make things more interesting than just plain vanilla, because we all know how to knit plain vanilla, and then you would have to buy the pattern just for the heel. Maybe that's what you want, but I'm including a stitch pattern on the front to make things more fun. You can always omit that pattern if you don't want to knit it. So this is where we at. I'm not going to show you the front because it's a little secret until I publish it. Then you can see it. Keep an eye out on Instagram because I think it will be published this week or next week. It depends a little bit. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Let me show you this. How I'm going to show this to you. This is the heel. So it's a heel with in reversed stockinette basically, which is really soft and squishy on your feet. It's softer because you don't feel these bumps on the inside of your foot, which is really nice. And I used a certain technique for this, so you don't have holes on the side, which is really pretty, and there are no holes. I cannot show you this without showing the pattern, and I don't want to show you the pattern yet. That's a little surprise. I think you may have got some glimpses of it, but I'm not going to show you more. But do you see that I'm knitting this magic loop 2 at a time? Basically, literally all I have to do on this is bind off. I only have to bind off. They are a little bit shorter because I didn't have a full skein. I only have this much left, which is perfectly enough for my bind off. And it's yarn that I dyed myself. It's not a repeatable colorway. This was just a tryout. I wanted to try out a different technique in different colors, and this is what it became. It's gray with colorful speckles. And I kind of like it. Yeah, I kind of like it. And also, yeah, on a base that I don't really like. So that's a base I'm not stocking. It looks similar to my soft sock base, but it's not. It's a high twist base from a different seller, and no, I like the soft sock base that I currently have a lot more. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. By the way, I totally forgot. It's not gonna be published this week or next week. It's because it needs to be test knit. So if you want to test knit this sock pattern for me, please let me know. I'm also gonna do a call out on Instagram for it, so you can check it out there. But if you decided already that you want to test knit for me, please let me know. I'm from when I do the call out on Instagram, the test knit will be 2 weeks, and you only have to finish one sock. And the only other thing is that the only thing you have to do to be a test knitter basically is finish one sock in 1 week, or in 2 weeks, I mean, sorry. Get back to me and make a project page on Ravelry. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. I think that would be really nice. And then I can publish the pattern after that, of course. So yeah, please contact me if you want to test knit for me. Then there's one last work in progress, and it's living in my triangle project bag, my London project bag that I bought in London at I Knit London. That was a lot of London in one sentence. Years ago, I Knit London doesn't exist anymore. It was the little shop near Waterloo Station. In here is my hand knit socks. It's all hand knit. My hand spun socks. This was sock number 1. I think I've shown you that one before. Maybe not this far along, but I know I've shown you this sock before. It's not completely finished yet, but I've started knitting the second sock. This is how far we are. And this is the ball. It's hand spun. It was hand dyed fiber, and now then it was spun, and now it's being knit up. The reason I stopped here is I want to use all of this yarn to I want to put all the yarn in the socks basically. I don't want to end up with any leftovers. So I'm gonna knit this sock to the same point as this first sock, and then I'm gonna make sure they both grow at the same time. I'm gonna knit them concurrently until they are the same, well, they grow at the same rate basically, and until I run out of yarn, and that's when they're finished. Yeah, I really like these. The wool is 100% Falkland wool, so not 100%, not Falkland Merino, but Falkland wool, which is quite a rough yarn. It has quite a long staple length, so it's totally okay that it's not doesn't contain any nylon, and it's warm, but it's really definitely not next to skin soft. But it feels soft like this, and it's perfectly fine for socks. It's gonna be hard wearing. And this is the heel I posted on Instagram. I made a few modifications to make it look even nicer for my pattern, but this is what I got all the questions about. There are a few different ways you can do the decreases and increases. I've stuck to the way that I think looks the best, and that's what I've put in my pattern. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing these because these will be nice and warm. And then that was it for the knitting. Finally, after half an hour. Was about time, wasn't it? So then I had some spinning too, and I finished this spin. Yay! I forgot to write down. Do I have it on a little note somewhere laying around here? I think I do. Is this one? No, I'm sorry. No, I don't remember exactly. But it definitely, this was, first things first. This was fiber by Artist Pellets yarn. Artist Pellets yarn. She doesn't dye anymore, unfortunately. It's 100% Shetland wool, and it's nice and soft. It's really nice, and I really like the colors. I spun it single ply, as you can see. It's fingering weight, and I got around 400 meters. I'm not sure exactly anymore. I spun this to combine with this pin I showed you last time that I finished during Tour de Fleece. They are from the same dyer, the same fiber. I spun them exactly the same way, both singles, and I think they work really nicely together. And they are going to be knit up into a shawl. The Wishes Do Come True shawl by Vicavera, which is this shawl. This shawl has been on my to knit list for such a long time. I wanted to spin the yarn for it myself, and I didn't have to write yarns, and then I didn't spin for quite a long time, so I finally have the yarns. I don't know what I'm going to cast on, because I feel like I have to. I used to be the kind of person that had like a million projects going on at the same time, 100 whips, and I was totally fine with it. But since a year or so, I just feel like those projects are weighing on my shoulders, and I feel like I want to finish my projects before starting something new. I don't have to finish everything before I start something new, but a couple of things. And I have 3 shawls on the needles at the moment, and I want to finish. Some of them, those are pretty close to finishing, and I just want to finish at least one of them before I start another one. Hi, Lou. Hi. I'm not showing everybody your butt. Nobody wants to see that. Hi. Look. Hi. So, then I started a new spin. Let me grab this for you. That's what we got here. Okay, I'm distracted. Come, you can sit here, but don't show people your bum. They don't want to see it. Okay, what you gonna do? Just stand there? Okay, so this is what I'm spinning. Yeah, you like it. Hmm? You like it. It's, I'm sorry, I cannot focus like this. Hey, come. Come. No. Anyway, no. Yeah. Sorry about this. Go. Say hello to people. Okay? Yeah. No, you don't want to say hello? I'm sorry. She doesn't want to. I think she's camera shy. Oh, and now she's bumping her head into the screen. Yeah, that's okay, Lou. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's a better spot for you. She's sitting in the windowsill now. Anyway, so this spin is my next spin, and I'm really enjoying it. What I'm spinning is fiber that I dyed myself. It's kind of a combo spin. I posted on Instagram what I was going to spin, and what I was going to spin was, sorry for that, was a braid of a Polward Firestar blend that I dyed ages ago in yellow and black, and gray. There's some gray in there too, and I really like it. But then I thought, well, it would be, sorry, it would, try it again. It would look really cool like this in socks, but I also want to enjoy the spinning, and I think I would get bored if I were only spinning this. So what I did, I split braid in half. So I used 50 grams of the Polward Firestar, and I had another braid that really matches really well, that I also dyed myself. And this is a merino silk blend that I dyed in a long gradient going from yellow, pink, purple. from yellow to pink to purple in one long gradient. And I thought the yellow was the same, but it's not exactly the same. There is a difference between them, but I think that's okay. So I used also 50 gram from this one, and I'm spinning them together. I'm just spinning one of this color, one of this color, and what I will do in the end is I will put them into wind them into a center pull ball and ply from the inside and outside at the same time to make a 2-ply. What I didn't really take in consideration is that merino silk is really a smooth fiber. When you spin it, it spins really, it wants to be spun really fine, and it spins, yeah, it creates really smooth fiber, and it doesn't poof up that much after washing. It doesn't, if you spin it singles, it will stay, if you spin it fingering weight, it will stay fingering weight after washing. Where pulward is a fiber that has a lot of crimp to it, and it's really springy and bouncy. And when you spin this fingering weight for a fingering weight yarn, once you take it off the bobbin and you wash it, it will poof up like crazy, which I really, really love. I absolutely love that about pulward. I love pulward. But combining these two, what will happen is it will be barber pulled, but at some places the pulward will end up with the pulward and the merino silk will end up with merino silk. So, and I spin them in the same thickness, the same fineness, and where pulward will end up with pulward, the finished yarn will be thicker than where the merino silk will end up with the merino silk. That's going to be interesting. I don't mind it at all. It's just something I think about. It will be really interesting, and I really like how this is spinning out. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. So with all these little nests of fiber, I really like spinning my. I really like it when my yarn is. I really like it when my fiber is prepped in these little nests, because I can count and I know how far along I got, because because I spin, I had 12 nests in total, 6 of this one and 6 on that one, and they weren't divided evenly. I mean, everybody can tell that this one has less fiber than this one does, and it weighs less, but I know that I had 12. I've spun 4, so I'm at 1/3 of my spinning. And for me, that's something I know if I spin for an evening, for like an hour and a half, then I can finish 2 nests. So I have spun 4 nests, so I've spun for 2 evenings, and I only need 4 more evenings to finish it, which is, for me, it's really, it gives me the feeling that I'm making progress, which is really nice. So I'm really looking forward to that spin, and I hope I can show it as a finished yarn, or at least as finished singles, or almost finished, next time. So yeah, then there's only one thing left to show you, and that's what went into my shop last Friday. I had a little update last Friday, not too much yarn, just a few new colorways and one-of-a-kind colorways, and now there's all yellow Firestar hanging around here. Oh, you cannot really see in my little trash can, table trash can. Okay, so if you're not interested in seeing what yarn I dyed and that's what's going into my shop, then I will thank you for watching, and it's totally fine. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. And if you are interested, then please stick around, because I really like what I put in my shop. But I think that's like, that's a good thing, right? I shouldn't put stuff in my shop that I don't like. Okay, so nope, this is not for Kate. I don't want your hair on here. Move on. Move. Yes, you're a sweetheart, but please move on. Walk, walk, walk. Okay. So, no, Lou, come. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So, first up, I have my Fungo and Purdy colorway back in stock again. This one is very popular, and I can totally understand why. I absolutely love this colorway. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I showed it in my, this is my Pongo and Purdy colorway, the black and white one with all the rainbow speckles there. I have it on both of my bases. This is my soft sock base, which is high twist, and this is my smooth sock base, which is just a normal 4-ply. They are both merino nylon, and I absolutely love them. I do so want to knit a garment out of this at some point. Let's start with socks, because I want to knit all the socks now two at a time. So maybe I should snack one from the shop and just knit a pair of socks out of it. Maybe. We shall see. I give you a chance first, so if you go to my shop now, you can get your hands on this before I steal them myself. Next up, I have this new colorway called High Tea. It really reminds me, well, let me show it to you first. Also on my soft sock high twist and smooth sock normal 4-ply Superwash merino nylon blend. I like this so much. This jeans blue and there's coffee brown. You know what it reminds me of? The brown for coffee or tea. In an old-fashioned tea room. And then the blue is from blueberry cupcakes. And the brown can be cupcakes as well. And then the pink is from, what do you call it in English? Glacé? I don't think that's the right word. It doesn't sound right. The stuff that the sweet stuff that can be laid on top of cake. Anyway, it looks sweet and I absolutely love it. And it makes me crave blueberry cupcakes. I love it so much. Then next up, we have Indian Summer. Indian Summer, for if you don't know, if you're not familiar, Indian Summer is what we have in the Northern Hemisphere when it's seriously autumn already, but there's like a week when it's really sunny and the temperatures are too high for what it's supposed to be, and it's really lovely weather. That's in autumn. That's called an Indian Summer, and these colors are so autumnal. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. I really do. And yeah, so that's Indian Summer. And then I have two colorways that are, I only have this one on my smooth sock base, only on this 4-ply base. And then I have two one-of-a-kind colorways. I was just playing with trying out new techniques, trying out new colors, new ways of dyeing, and so they are non-repeatable because I was just trying out different things. But they ended up look at them. I absolutely love them. They are so beautiful. The blue one is really dark indigo. No, it's not really an indigo blue. It has you cannot really see it on the screen, but it has like a green sheen through it. Yeah, you can. This is quite accurate actually. It's a little bit darker, and this is a gold ochre. This looks really gold in real life, and this one has some green and red speckles, and this one has black speckles, and I really like them. But what I found out later when I was taking pictures to put them in my shop. These ended up laying next to each other for no reason. It was just a coincidence. Look at these three next to each other. I love them so much together. They go so well. Perfect fade, not fade. I love them together so much. Look how well they go together. These, I have only 2 of each of this one. So 2 blue, 2 yellow. Only on the smooth sock base as well. So that's it. That's what went into my shop today. Last Friday. And what is still available in there. So if you're interested, please go and check it out. If not, then that's totally fine too. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I hope to be back in another 3 weeks. Hopefully with something different than socks. This week was only about socks. Almost only about socks. So we will see. I have to admit I'm on a 2 at a time sock knitting kick. So probably more socks. Anyway, I'm gonna stop for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!